Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. Joining us now is an undefeated mixed martial artist fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Andrew Tenneson, 3-0. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Jorge. How are you?
Pretty good. Welcome back. Feels like just a couple of weeks ago that we had you on.
It had to be a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just been training, just trying to get better.
Yeah, and we talked about last time of when your next fight was, and we didn't have it announced, so now you're fighting. Tell the people who you're fighting and when.
I'm fighting Cory Sandhagen on RFA 34, Colorado, in 9 days, January 15th. Pretty excited.
Yeah, so they gave you a call, what, with 2.5, 3 weeks notice of this fight? Do you feel comfortable going into this one?
Yeah, something like that. I'm always staying in shape, and Ricky Condit, he's one of the managers of the Jackson's Martial Arts Fitness Academy, also runs the Jackson's Martial Arts MMA series. And he hooked me up with this fight because he has tons of connections and stuff in the community. So really thankful, really happy that I can go out there.
Your opponent, Cory Sandhagen, he's based out of Colorado. Here you are going to Colorado and fighting another Colorado fighter.
I know. I'm like, it's his home turf, and I know he goes to a good school and trains with good people. I heard he's been like working with TJ Dillashaw a lot. So this is going to be exciting. He seems like a really good guy and good opponent for me. It's going to be fun.
On the contrary, he's training with Dillashaw, but you're training with guys like Cerrone, Condit, Holly Holm. I mean, how much weight does that carry?
I'm getting beat up by them. I don't know. I hope that transfers over to my performance. But yeah, I'm looking forward to not overestimating or underestimating my opponent and just doing my thing.
Now, this fight will air nationally on AXS TV. I guess compared to most people, you started your pro career a little, I guess, later or maybe around.
Yeah, I'm an old car with low gas mileage is what I like to say. This is my first fight on TV. I'm going to be the first.
National TV.
Yeah, national TV. I'm going to be the first fight out there, I believe. So on the old HDNet channel, AXS is now what it's called, and it's going to be exciting.
How big of an opportunity do you feel this is for you, just to showcase your skill? Obviously, you've been kind of a hidden gem here within New Mexico and the Colorado area.
I don't look at it any differently. I feel like I'm just going to fight again. You know, whether it was an amateur fight, I still put lots of effort into it, lots of work. Whether there's my 3 pro fights, I put lots of effort and work into it. This is the same thing.
Yeah. Your camp just came out of a string of 4 UFC championship fights. Of course, Holly Holm coming out with the victory. I want to ask you about the Carlos Condit fight and Robbie Lawler at UFC 195 this past weekend. Extremely close, specifically just because I like to think of you as an intellectual, Mr. Tenneson here. But as far as scoring and MMA judging, break down that fight for us, please.
Well, basically, I feel like the judges thought that unless Carlos dominated completely every single round, he wasn't going to get the nod for those judges. I don't think that's right. I feel like you have to look at the whole fight. Strikes landed. Carlos had way better stats than Robbie. They both had a knockdown each, and they're both going out at the end. You know, maybe the Japanese style of scoring just the whole fight instead of round by round would have been better. Who's close to the finish, just I don't know. But that's why you don't go to the judges. You hope, but with Robbie Lawler, he's been going to the judges a lot. Yeah. And he's amazing. But I think Carlos got the better of him in that fight.
What did you score the fight?
I scored it probably, if I remember correctly, I think I gave Carlos 3 rounds, and then I gave Robbie the other 2.
Yeah. And now you brought up the Japanese style of, I guess, judging. And you've obviously been really involved in at least the researching and of course, taking a look at a lot of those fights in Asia. What do you think is the best method of judging a fight?
I think you judge it on the whole entire fight, and you judge it by damage and who came close to finishing. If someone gets a whole bunch of takedowns but they don't do any damage, I don't really judge that as anything. But if you do that for 2 rounds, you can win a fight in America. But if you do it for 2 rounds, then in the last round you're getting lit up and you've gotten some close submission attempts, then you're going to lose the fight. And I think that's more accurate, I guess.
Does that ever go on through your mind when you're in the fight? Should I let it go? Because most of your fights, of course, have gone to a finish, right? I mean, you've been able to finish your fights.
Yeah, I never had a decision, and neither has my opponent. So it's like, this fight's going to end, probably. Right. But if it goes to the decision, I look at it like, well, unless I completely got destroyed, I guess I did a good job because I'm still here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You don't you don't want to think about judges. You just want to do the best you can to win the fight. When you can. If you can win the fight in the first round, you do it. If you win in the second round, you do it. If you win the third, in the last 10 seconds, you try to do it. Don't rely on judges.
Yeah. What do you think? We'll be discussing this a little bit later on our roundtable, but what do you think about, since you're close to him as far as teammate, about the potential of Carlos Condit maybe retiring?
Well, the thing is, with all fighters nowadays, I mean, if it was back in the day, if it was early 2000s, we could be like, well, we get huge wars, I'll be okay. I'll just get another huge war next week or in a few months from now. But then we know about concussions. We know about traumatic brain injury. And Carlos has been fighting since he was like 18 or something, and he was in King of the Cage. He fought in Pancrase. I mean, he's been fighting a long, long time. And if he wants to retire and basically end up on top, because most of the MMA community thinks he won that fight, and so he's a champion in my mind, that's a great way to stop. You know, but if he wants to keep fighting and keep making money and keep impressing the fans and showing us all his beautiful destruction, I guess you can say, then he should. It's up to him.
I believe he's 39 fights into his career, if I'm not mistaken, and I think he's 31 going on 32.
Yeah.
You're 29 with 3 fights. How much longer do you hope on doing this fight?
I could wake up tomorrow, or after my fight, of course, and I could wake up one day and be like, you know what, I don't want to fight anymore. Or I could wake up and want to continue training, want to continue going on this journey. I just think one fight at a time, and I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I'm going to throw some questions at you, a little rapid fire here. And
I can't think too long about them.
You can't.
I'm just have to throw them out there.
I joked about it earlier because you give the longest answers sometimes to the simplest questions. But here we go. Your favorite fighter of all time?
Sakuraba.
Favorite submission?
Triangle choke.
Really? That'd be the omoplata for you. Favorite post-fight, or post-weigh-in meal, I should say?
Huevos rancheros with waffles.
From where?
Village Inn, because they're easy to find.
Favorite book?
Tale of Two Cities.
One more. Favorite movie of all time?
Seven Samurai.
Oh, that's a very good one. I have that definitely have that in my top 5. So again, Andrew, if people want to follow you online, where can they catch you?
Tenneson MMA. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah.
Just look up Tenneson MMA with an E, not a Y.
Again, Andrew Tenneson versus Cory Sandhagen, RFA 34 on AXS TV. Make sure you guys check him out. We'll catch you after the break.